trying out Persona here. Just signed up, and I like this. This is cute. But I also love this here right here. This is wonderful. Also, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Hide this. This is great. A quick checklist or simple kind of visual guidance aid so I can understand what I'm about to do to get started. Wonderful. Highly support that. Let me double check I'm recording here. All right, cool. So start by importing my contacts manually. Okay. Okay, so okay, so how do I do that? So clicking on it and then you click on that to check it off. Okay. Makes sense. Connect Google account. So let me try connecting my Google account and see what happens. Let's go over here. And it should bring some of my contacts over. Okay, cool. So I can't do it through Google. I will try again though. Okay, now I'm all the way out of here. Okay. Proceed. Okay. Select all. View messages settings. I can deselect. What do they need? See, download your contacts. They probably need all of this stuff. So I'll continue. Okay, I mean, I don't have many contacts on that email, but first let me go over to import contact and I will add some dummy contacts. I'll add myself. Oh, it's fine. Here's the phone number. Add contact. Did it work? Refresh. Try it out again. Add contact. Okay, there I go, but down below. Okay, so I'm here. Let's go back to general. Persona. And schedule a meeting. Send a sample meeting to learn how Persona works. Excellent. Let's click on that. So this one takes me to contacts, right? Okay. If I go back here, this one, clicking on it, doesn't take me to schedule meeting. Okay, interesting. Does configure settings work? Does. Okay. Let's go back over here. View logs also seems to work. Interesting. Since schedule a meeting is one of your primary activation features, fix this link. It's a simple one, but it looks like it doesn't take it where it's supposed to go. Yeah, this one, if you look over in the left corner of my screen, you can see where it's going to send me. And it says dashboard, which is not where you want to go, I assume. Let me go click on these three dots here, this little hamburger. Go over to dashboard. Well, I'm on the dashboard now. Yeah. Go to profile. Oh, fascinating. See, I know how to get over here from here, but it is fascinating that scheduling a meeting. Well, maybe if I ask it, can you schedule a meeting? Get rid of this really quick. A meeting with Omavi at 5 p.m. Let's do it 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. Let's see what Persona has to say. I am on the free version, so let's see if this works. Boom. Okay, I'll schedule that meeting with Omavi. Excellent. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, having this prompt me and take me to the right place is ideal. But I noticed that I presume that I'm supposed to do that from here, so that makes sense that it wouldn't send me anywhere special. But I was noticing something if I went back to import contacts, schedule. Settings, schedule, so my time zone, okay. Weekend scheduling, and then my schedule, gotcha. presume you might. I would. One suggestion would be to kind of take people through this as a part of this onboarding flow here. I do like this a lot, but this stuff would be important if you're gonna schedule a meeting. Is like, okay, what's my schedule? Do I want to get a meeting scheduled on the weekends? And then what's my time zone? Just as kind of a part of that initial transaction. Oh, interesting. And then if I reset, it's gone. Okay. So let me check to see if I got a email from Persona asking me to join a meeting. Let's see. Let's see what happened there. All right, I'm back here, and I do not see an email in my personal account that would, allude to me getting a meeting coming up. But I'll keep refreshing and wait and be patient. But I'll start up again and say, hey, can you schedule a meeting with Mavi at 5 p.m. tomorrow about the new contract. I would presume it's going to email him, or perhaps, okay, I'm wrong. Perhaps what it will do is go on Google Calendar, and it's just going to put a is going to, let's go for Google Calendar. Google Calendar. Let's change all this stuff out and go over to creating services and see if it just made a calendar invite for me over here. All right. Got it. Okay. Schedule a meeting with you. Okay. So I will ask, is it done? Were you able to schedule that meeting with me and Omavi? Okay, so she did schedule it, but I don't see it on my calendar here. I'm gonna do device default. Perhaps it lives in a different calendar. Okay, well that didn't work very well. I'm also not sure like how to do it. Perhaps I just made a mistake, but I don't see it on the calendar over here. Hey, if that is today, maybe I'm wilding, but here is tomorrow, Friday the 23rd. I don't see a calendar invite of any kind between me and myself. Okay, moving on. Let me go ahead and click that complete. Let's go over to configure settings, wait time. Persona will pick a random wait time in the range before replying to any emails. Okay, so 5 and 15. Okay, it's pretty cool. Tenant. Okay, I have a tenant ID. Cool. Let's go over here to review logs. What is the logs? What is it? What is this? Waiting response. Hello, hi. Gotcha. Okay, let me go ahead and test. Okay, so what happens is it will send an email to the other person first. Okay, so I won't have a pending calendar notification until I receive or accept that email. Well, let me go over to my email again and look for it. Should be from Moose something. That's fascinating. Is the email just wrong? Perhaps, let me go over to dashboard. And I would love to have a history, like a log of the previous conversation I had right here. That'd be awesome. But let me try and track this down. So I'm going to go over to profile. That's my email. That's correct. Let me go over to, sorry, back here, back to schedule a meeting or import contacts. Make sure I have the right email. That's my email address. Right there. I didn't get it. It says it did email me, but I haven't seen anything yet. Is it in updates perchance? Is it in promotions? I don't see it. And I'll check the logs again to make sure, like, maybe I'm just being impatient and it is on the way. Let's see. When did this happen? Yeah, this is a cheeky one. It's been like 9 minutes at this point, so I should have gotten an email at some point. You know, so perhaps it was just blocked, but that's like a different level than just blocked. Like if it was just not, if it was like, because it didn't even get registered to spam, for example. It just isn't even here. Fascinating. Nope. Okay, well, that is that. I would love to test out something else, review logs, but that is, I'll check on Persona again, make sure I'm not missing any um, like general abilities that this app is supposed to have. Let me go over to like not the logs, but the normal website. Let's go over here. So what else should it? What else should I be able to do? Goodbye calendar, chaos, hello persona, your scheduling assistant, and allows automate calendar management. Yeah, that's what I figured. Zero for scheduling for that, but easily integratable. That was fast. Detail logs. That was nice. It acts, not just suggests. Oh, here's something. Perhaps I need to use the at, otherwise it won't trigger. Yeah, it does all this all this stuff. Here's what I'll do. I will try adding the person. Okay, so let me try that out. Mr. Persona add dimension. Okay. Can you schedule a meeting with Ash? There it is. Oh, my bad. Here's here, let me try this again. Screenshot. Can you schedule a meeting at 5 p.m. with tomorrow with at here subject the vibes. Okay, email sent successfully. I have faith in this one. This seems legitimate. Here we go. All right, so now I got an email from them. Let me go ahead and respond. So if I'll tell it yes, sounds good. Good. Okay, send the response. Okay, so now I should hear back about what I should hear back inside of this application here. What thank you for your approval. I'll let Anonymous know. Okay, so the app just responded. Persona got back to me. If you have any specific topics, feel free to share them with this. Okay, I will add a topic. I'd love to talk about the quarterly quota. Okay, so now I should hear back from Persona, and this meeting should be on my calendar now. Well, this is interesting because I know it only has permission to interact with my email, so I'm not sure how it's going to update my calendar. Which would, let me check over here because I already finished all the onboarding stuff, so it's gone. Because then now it'd be something else I'd be curious about, like how does it connect to my calendar? It's not gonna. Okay, so they're supposed to inform me. It's only been a minute though. Okay, yeah. So one piece of feedback I had was that I do see where the at is important right here, but I would recommend like making that higher value, like higher, like it, either enhance the visibility of that, so that way, like if it won't work without the at, make that prominent. Also, um, in a few different interactions I had with it, it said, "Oh, of course I can. I'll go ahead and do that right now." And then I was just kind of sitting there. If it needs the at to send the email, train the AI or make sure it has a message pre-baked in that will say, "Hey, I can't do that." Just have a clean error state there, so that way I'll know what's going on, and your other users will too. Um, Either that or clearly guide people in the first onboarding flow that they absolutely have to use the ad. Like this, there's no other way. Because I wrote my name a couple times, like but here, and I was like, oh, is it gonna do it? And it just didn't. So that was one piece of feedback that I had, and then I'm also, of course, beyond curious how. I'll check the logs. How exactly it's going to interact with my calendar? I have no clue. I assume I'm able to see my own back and forth here. Gotcha. So until they say, oh, send calendar invite to everyone in this thread, Amavi is synonymous. Okay, let me go here. I'll check my email. Yes. Okay. Yes. Interesting. I presume that I need to accept this email. Mhm. Mhm. Let me type an email here. Let's test that out. So it won't just show up as a calendar invite over here. I will have to go into my email and accept it. Um, I would have interesting. It says complete now. So these are all my back and forths. Okay, persona mark the task as complete. Is there some sort of notification on my end that it is completed? What's this? This looks like what I'm looking for. I'll get back to that. Is that what this triggers? Okay, fascinating. So I would need to calendar invite. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no notification. Yeah, okay, so I would say that when, and perhaps that was just because I was on the logs thing that doesn't say, I would for sure have it like if someone's in the app, just to have some sort of notification saying like, oh yeah, it's done, check your email. That way, once that flow is complete, they know to go outside of your application and accept something. Whereas my thought was that, and how I imagined it would work was, once you submit you tell the AI what to do, it will send a calendar invite, and then there will just be a blank sort of, placeholder thing already there. And then if they change their mind or want to adjust something, it would reschedule it. That's not how it works. No worries, but that wasn't clear in your onboarding. Um, I would try to make that as clear as possible that, hey, there's a few different steps. Like, it's going to go talk to them for a while, then come back to you and send you an email that you need to accept. And you cannot do that in the app. Like, make that just transparent as possible. That way, no one is confused. And because if I didn't understand all that, I would just try to send an email or try to schedule something and then be just sitting here and waiting. Like, oh, is it happening? Is it not happening? But overall, I mean, it's a pretty robust tool. It seems to work really well, and I do love the language that it uses when it's going back and forth with whoever you're trying to schedule a meeting with. It's very respectful, and it leaves it invites them to add either subject matter to the like topics of the meeting, and I presume you can also ping pong back on the time. I want to test that out because that is, in my experience, scheduling meetings, you usually, oh, I can't do that. Can you do a different time? Or, oh, can you do this time or that time? And I would wonder, like, how would it inform, like, me as the user that that's happening? Because it doesn't really tell you a lot outside the logs. So I would probably have to look in the logs and let me see, we go to view. Can I see the subject that it's talking to it about? Because if so, then you can probably just track all that here. Right messages sent, right? And oh, there it is. 9:30 p.m. Cool. Right to 10. Blah blah. So you can see the messages that it sends, but not the messages, the responses. And so all I would probably get on my end is just a different time. So that would be a tough one because you would want to, yeah, that's a tough one. Because my thought would be that in this situation, I would want to be able to tell the AI to, oh, well, don't just accept whatever time he did. Actually tell him this time. And the way that would end up working is I would get one of these emails and be like, oh, that's not the time I wanted. And it says not to respond to this email here. So now I'm going to have to tell Persona again to basically start that message train over, and that would be kind of sticky. I don't even. I mean, I only bring this up because this isn't really an edge case. This is what will happen when people try to schedule emails. They will bounce back on the times, and if you can't tell me in app what time that person wants, I'll have to start over again. And then on their end, they just have multiple threads with this assistant. And I already sort of experienced that trying to email myself a couple times. It will just start up again. Um, I would also consider seeing if you can send the invitation to join the meeting in line of the same email thread. Because when I suggested changing the topics of the meeting as a secondary follow-up to accepting the meeting, it sent me two separate emails with two different subjects, and that could be confusing to one of your users. But yeah, um, so far so good. But those are just my feedbacks there. Key takeaways are: explain the sort of log tracking function, and highlight the needing to add someone's name really thoroughly, because that is important. And then figure out what you can do to account for lots of back and forths between yourself and the AI tool and the third party. Because if that's annoying, it's going to turn into, oh, okay, I could have just emailed them myself. But overall, pretty cool product. Thank you for letting me try it out. I hope that this is helpful. Please let me know if you have questions or you want me to try something else out. Thank you.